Hello everybody, this is Frogman and welcome back to Manufactio Nuclear Edition. Last episode we were working on a power plant and we're going to go over there in just a little bit and take a look at it because there's a couple of more things we need to kind of play with. I just wanted to kind of be back over here in the base really quickly because of the fact that, well, I've spent a reasonable amount of time, let's just say it like this, spent a reasonable amount of time in a test world trying to figure out what we're going to do as far as how to be able to lay things out, how to make things work. And I'm starting to realize that I'm really glad we kind of landed in a reasonably nice flat area without a lot of mountains and a lot of stuff that is going to require us to actually have to do some work. So we are going to continue to build base through here, and it's probably going to end up at the edge of the, there's an edge of the water over there by where that alien nest is, and it's probably going to go all the way down through and maybe make a right turn over here just because of the fact that, well, we have all of this nice wide open area. Aside from some of these little tree spots here, all of this is relatively flat and not very treed. So again, we're going to stay here probably, and we're not going to worry about it. So I think we're just going to be fine. Another thing is, you guys might notice things look a little different. I did try very, very, very hard to deal or use the resource pack included with the pack. Where is this? Options, this resource pack. The Odyssey, this one. I tried very hard. I really couldn't get past just some of the textures. Just could not get past some of the textures because of the fact that it was really hard to tell the difference between things like, well, andesite and stone, and for that matter, some of the other color, just some of the combinations were very hard to tell for me and my old aging eyes, the difference between things. And I just decided that, for one, I was tired of the animals. For one, I was tired of the animals. They were loud, annoying, and everything like that. So like they always are anyway, but we got rid of it. We're just not going to use it now. We are, however, going to use a texture pack. And those of you that should be familiar, at least with Manufactio and the last time we did this, I'm just going to use Golrith's other pack for this well, mod pack. That's just what we're going to do. I find it very good. I find it, well, decently looking. I enjoyed it when it was there, and it's actually one of those packs, one of those things that when I need to have a kind of a gritty looking, nasty pack or a resource pack, that's what I'm going to use. I appreciate it. I love it. It's great. It's one of my favorites I think I've ever had. I've always been a fan of Mesa, and I've always been a fan of John Smith or whatever this other one was made on of, and I love it. So we are over here right now just doing a little bit more work because I wanted to make some more science. And I might as well just go ahead and toss those in there and get them going because we need more green science. Give me that up here. I need to make some more stuff. I need to do a few more things as always. So let's see. I think I took this out of you, right? Yes. Okay, good. So you go ahead and make some more green stuff. So that should work, right? Yes. All right, cool. And then we're going to go over here and we're going to go play with the one thing we had left over. So I did, in between episodes, kind of smack down a really, really, really quick ore mixer because I want to make a little bit of Invar blend so that we can make some of our parts that we need to do some of the fun stuff coming up. So that actually reminds me, I need to do... I think we're going to do at least that much for right now. That'll be, well, let me see, plates, we'll have those go as well. As soon as we start getting some of this logistics, come on game, let me have it, there we go, cool. As soon as we start getting some of the logistics stuff up and running, like namely this, so these are going to be either steel gears or Invar gears, and right now I have so much nickel laying around that I think we're going to make it out of that for now. I mean, there's, you know, blocks and blocks of nickel. Yes, I'm going to have to regrind that back down to make it work, which is, you know, I should not have done this, I guess, for now. But since we only have the ability to do through the ore mixer to be able to make Invar, that's what I'm going to do. We're going to just do it that way. So I'm going to go ahead and start working on trying to get most of those done. The big one is getting a lot of these made. The big one is getting a lot of these unrouted transfer pipes made because they're the basis of all the rest of the recipes. So even for some of the stuff later on, yeah, so like we need inserters and storage controllers and circuits to be able to do the other 3 or 4 things that we have in order to be able to actually start automating the mess. Believe me, I'm already very, so believe me or whatever, but we're going to be very glad we just decided to go straight with that and not try to bother fooling around. It looked like one of the special ones. Yeah, they love spawning underneath trees. I love it. It's great. Everybody spawns under trees. It's fine. I went ahead and got some. We're doing a few other things too, because I think if I can today, once I cut a couple of trees down and we get some more saplings, I actually want to start down this line over here so that we can possibly get an automated tree farm running, which is going to require 25 orange research, and orange research is going to be 50 green research. And orange, this is actually a kind of an interesting recipe. I like it, actually. Orange, where did you go, sir? It's going to require, well, tree saplings, plant oil, the plan, and a fertilizer plus a chemical plant. So that's a kind of a neat idea. Now, fertilizer, we can go make those out of plant fibers, which you can make those out of, you know, trees or plants or things and stuff. So, there's a reason why I want to do that, and it's going to be over here that we're going to see the reasoning. So I'm going to take a run over here, and we're going to go talk about it. Alrighty then, so we're over here in the now somewhat basically running power plant. I want to make sure my things are not too terribly full. I had to go make a bunch of more tanks. Those are actually relatively cheap and easy to use compared to these things, even though these things are okay. We'll mess with those definitely for a little while, probably, just so things work. So in between, I went ahead and grabbed the grinder that we made and put it down so that we could at least double the processed or the coal a little bit, so we can kind of save on it. And I finally about got all of the backlog used up that I had laying around all over the place. And what we're going to do is we're going to do something like this. I've got a kind of a sorting system that I hope will figure out what's going on, but I wanted to kind of run that backlog down before we did anything else. I've already had to move the miner over there once, so was kind of concerned about what we're going to have to do. So the reason why I'm saying I'm kind of interested in the tree farms, and we're going to get into the last little bit of the power station before we kind of move on. So it'll probably be the last time we're going to mess with this, at least on camera, until we get the next set of turbines. So the reason why I'm a little concerned about this is that, well, the way that we're running through materials already, like I've already moved the miner once over there. So there wasn't a whole lot of coal, and I knew there wasn't a whole lot of coal. Now there's some more coal back over here, and there's some more stuff around. But what I've already found out, at least in a test world, is that there's just the general way that I build and the way that I like to run through stuff. We're going to use a lot of materials, and this is a this isn't infinite. Granted, it's kind of infinite because it's Minecraft. You know, we just have to keep going further and further and further afield to find more coal or more whatever. So I think what we're going to be doing, we're going to be running solid fuel boilers for quite a while, mainly because of the fact that, well, in order to get to liquid fuel fireboxes, we're going to need a whole bunch of green research. In order to get to these, we need 200 research, and this is going to make a massive improvement on how things work, but we've got a long way to go before we go there. In order to be able to even get to where something I think is remotely replenishable, which is going to be gas and oil extraction, again, 50 more research, and a few other things. We have to get to the point where we can get to here, and then get to the point where we're at the liquid fuel, well, fireboxes for these things. So our alternative is going to be solid type fuels. And if solid type fuels are the things that we can make fairly simply and easily or whatever, then I want that tree farm so I can go back to making charcoal. Now, we need tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of wood. For no other reason simply than the fact that all of the board we have to make, all of this is going to be a piece of wood. So every single circuit that we ever make, period, from here on out, is going to be a piece of wood. So we have to find, well, it's going to be half a piece of wood. So we have to be making those kinds of things. Yes, we unlocked the little bitty tree farmy thingy, the little tree cutter and the block placer, fiddled around with them a little bit in the, in the interior on my test world, and we will probably set one of those up, if for no other reason than for the fun of it. But it's not going to, a dozen of them will not keep up with trying to do what I think I'm going to do with this. So what we'll do is we're going to make a tree farm. We're going to stack I probably put it right back there because that's a special forest. And you'll almost always get these really, really tall, goofy looking trees like this in the special forest where they exist. I think the only problem with the special forest is those trees their logs sink into the ground a little bit, so we may have to kind of fiddle with it, but we'll make that arboretum. Arboretum, this dude right here, which, again, not really all that expensive. I can make all that stuff once we get the science and the technology for it. We'll set it up. We'll get there's plenty of fertilizer around, plus we can use the tree saplings and whatnot for the fertilizer, which I'm glad he gave us that. It's an amazing thing. And then we'll just run it off charcoal, kind of like we did the last base. So, I know it's kind of one of those deals, but we'll at least use it in a little bit different fashion because we'll be trying to run a whole lot of stuff off of it. So for now, we're just going to deal with this the way that it works. And I'm only going to run this thing until I need it. It is not hooked up to the other base over there. We haven't done anything because we have a problem. Let's start talking about this problem. And this problem, like we stated the last time, is going to be dealing with the saline water. So the saline water already, we've got quite a bit of it, plus a tank full over here. And the way you're supposed to get rid of it is to make red algae in a algae farm. So the way we should be getting rid of it, as far as I can tell, whoop, it clicked the wrong button. Come here, come back with me. Chemical plant, algae farm, electrolyzer, which is actually probably the way that I'm going to be using it because that'll get us chlorine as well as the sodium hydroxide. But for the most part, it's going to be algae farm and electrolyzer is what we're going to use that stuff for, as far as I can tell, looking through all of that. Which means until it's necessary, I'm not going to keep any of it. I know it's going to be one of those kinds of things, but the timing and the fact that if I need some, I can specifically set one of these things up to make it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to void it. And since we don't have a trash can, that means we have to do it the fun way, which is going to involve the little bitty fancy redstone circuit that looks kind of like this. So for those of you that know what's going on here, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a special block that puts fluids out into the world. I'm going to use an observer to detect it. It's going to push a block, or it's going to push a signal out the back of the observer, which is then going to fire off this little circuit. What this little circuit does is basically what this does, this second repeater right here has a slightly longer time than this repeater does, so that when this one fires through, this repeater gives us a switch, so to speak, and we're going to use a function that I very rarely ever use with redstone, and that's going to be, if I can get something to place down in front of it. What did I do with it? I'm glad I have all the parts I need, right? What that's going to be, we'll just use some dirt. That's fine. Give me some more dirt. I managed to pick the one stack up that has nothing in it. What that's going to do is, as you guys know, a repeater is going to fire twice. It's going to fire when the block is placed down. It's going to fire again when the piston moves in front of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a repeater circuit here to basically say that on the first fire, the signal's going to go around. It's going to hold the piston out for a little bit just to make sure that it clears all of the water out or whatever, and it's going to lock this repeater. So as long as this repeater is locked, it won't matter what happens right here. So if something moves forward or moves back, then once it'll just keep it locked out. So if this fires, it won't be able to get through the circuit, which is the whole point of what we want this for. So once the repeater then burns out or burns down, it will unlock that repeater and the cycle can work again. You see it? I never use this function, except for this kind of a very simple circuit. And that'll work perfectly fine, and it won't sit there and run the whole time and make all kinds of noise and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to rip this all down. Well, we're going to put this away. The idea here, too, as well, is the timing is specifically set this direction. If you fiddle with these a little too much, like if you knock out a little bit of time out of this one, like say if you put it right there and you put this one right here, it will just make a clock. That works fine, too. It's nice and quick. But you always have to make sure that this repeater is one tick less than this one. See, now we're locked because we're broke. Yeah, whatever. Let's go build this over here where we can actually use it. All right. Ow. Hi, good God at the wolves. Wow. You scared the crap out of me. So the block we're going to use is going to be a fluid outlet from Immersive Engineering. So if you put a fluid outlet out in the world, it's got 4 little great sides on it. And what it'll do is it'll just place fluids in the world once it gets a bucket full of fluid, or at least enough to put it in. So we're going to put this on the bottom of this tower over here after we move it. So I think actually we'll put this right here, and then I'm going to grab all of these because we're going to have to let it run for a little while and dump them all. And then I guess just decide which side we want to look at. Unfortunately, it's going to be all kind of ugly. That's okay. For right now, this is going to work just perfectly fine. So where's my shovel? Let's at least make a nice little floor in here. Never mind that cobblestone. Cool. All right. And then I'm going to say that the observer is going to live right here, which they place funny. So I got to do like this with it. Did you face right? All right, cool. And then the piston will go like that. Can you get these out of your hand? Thank you very much. All right, nice. So then we just build that little circuit again, which unfortunately is going to take up most of the floor down here, but that's fine for now. Again, this is all going to be temporary. Once we get trash cans or once we get a use for this fluid, we'll do something with it. But it should, theoretically, work just fine. So I hope that should be enough room. Yeah. So single repeater, 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 and we're just going to do the long one since I know that I've already had problems with the way things have been working here as it is. Now I could just put a repeater right there and face it into that block and it would do the same thing. So let's grab this tank and do this with it. And the problem with the fluid outlet is it takes its sweet time to decide where it needs to put stuff down. So if I wanted to say, open another one of these holes up, it'll eventually figure out where it needs to go and put one down. It's going to take it a little bit. I already know that it's just the way that stuff works. Give me my pickaxe, please. There you go. There you go. So it's going to slowly over time take care of that little problem, which is going to be eating up a whole bunch of this stuff. So what I wanted to do with that, can I have this back, please, is we're going to place a bunch of these barrels on top of it as a kind of a water storage device in case we end up with a problem. And if I need to do more, I can do more. Thank you. Where is my shovel? All right, so then what we need to do is we need to just connect this fluid duct to the top of those tanks so that'll just drain off in there. Now, this is not running at all right now, so we're not hardly making any of that kind of stuff. It will take it a while, and it's mainly just due to that fluid outlet trying to figure out what it needs to do. But I think with that, we're going to be okay for right now. I'm going to leave this alone. Yes, I know I put redstone in the world. It's terrible. It'll be fine for now. Until we can do something else with it, this is what I'm going to have to do with the saline water. So, all right, we're going to go back over to the base. I actually need to make a whole bunch more connectors and stuff like that, and then we'll be back. So I'm going to go kind of carry the power over there, and then we're going to go ahead and unhook that thing because I've already been having problems with today because of that other boiler over there acting up. So I'm just going to go ahead and run power. So I'll see you guys in just a little bit. All right, power is strung, and I have the other set of turbines and a boiler and water plant up and running, and it should be about where it needs to be right now, so that means this thing should be capable of a decent amount of power when it needs to make some stuff. It's interesting, it turned around and went backwards for a little bit. I don't know what it's doing. So the base is now hooked up into this mess, which means I need to make sure that this is now functional, at least for right now. Yeah, I think we're just gonna go ahead and see if this all works. It should work, at least for right now. And then we're gonna go ahead and move forward with a little bit of more fun stuff. So let's see, we need some belts. And make a mess. I want that piece of boron anyway, thank you, because I need a piece of boron in, like, say, right there. That's fine. All right, cool. Coal is going through to the end. It may try to populate and go into one of these two chests, was just my concern. You just gonna sit there and make stacks of stuff until it gets done? Yeah, this is what I was afraid of. Because there's an open whitelist up here for that. Let me see, east and west. You shouldn't be able to get out of there now. Yeah? Cool. Okay. Let me have that. Let me have this. You give me this. You still working? All right, cool. Nice. That should actually eventually work its way through that mess too. So, all right, now we can put that away and hopefully titanium. That's going to be the only problem with this. I'm going to have to sit here and kind of babysit this for a little while because, well, stuff like that, because of the random ores, this is going to pick up occasionally. So do that. And we'll do the titanium up here with that, even though I can't do anything with the titanium currently. So as long as that's all we're going to see, I mean, there's going to be copper and there's going to be wow, must have hit a pretty decent sized titanium thing. Plus there's going to be an awful lot of iron eventually. Boy, there must have been a bunch of titanium down there. A bunch of it. Cool, 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 cool. That's very nice. Cool. All right, yeah, we're going to mess around with that stuff later. I'm not worried about it right now. I'm going to need some more storage and more sorting and more storage and more things. And we'll make this pretty eventually, but I think for what I want to do today right now is I want to get back over here and get started on possibly making... Wow, that one's already running maxed out. That's interesting. Why are they both running maxed out? Okay. Well, let's run over to the base. We'll take some of that and some of that and some of that and eat it because we're out of food. Lovely. Good deal. All right, cool. Yeah, nice. So I did go ahead and craft a bunch of stuff up, and I need to craft a couple of more things up. So we're making invar plates right now. I don't know what you're doing. Give me all of that. You can make a bunch of gears. Please. All right, cool. That should allow us to at least kind of start fiddling around with the logistics stuff. So let's go put logistics pipes into our remembrance board up here, so we know which ones we can play with. We're going to be getting the basic ones. We're going to be getting the providers, the suppliers, and the unrouted one right there, plus this. So the first one you're going to need is oh, shoot, sorry. I am in cheat mode. Don't be in cheat mode. I had to rebuild the, I had to rebuild the hydro plant over there for whatever reason because it said it was missing parts, but when I broke it down, it, like, deleted the steel slabs, so I had to cheat in some steel slabs. Steel, that whatever you call them, the sheet metal slabs. So sorry, we'll figure this out now. All right, so logistics request table, logistics power junction. We need to make one of those. Steel plates, redstone, and some circuits. Let's go ahead and make that. I should have... Where is that thing? Is that it right there? All right, so we need steel plates, 6, and some redstone. Of course, I have just 3. Well, make some steel plates. Hang on a minute. You can do that. That'll be enough gears to play with for right now. And I only need 1 power junction, so let's just grab that and then put those back in there to do this. All right, you guys keep making things. Good, nice. Power junction. Need some redstone. We needed quite a bit of redstone, actually. And we run over here and we see that we can't make that because it's got to be made in a thing, doesn't it? No, project table. Oh, when at circuits. Come on now. Come on, circuits. All right. One logistics project power table kind of thing. Awesome. We will go ahead and clunk this thing in probably right there for right now. Is that getting us power? All right, that's going to take a little while to charge up because there's not a whole heck of a lot of power over here. I'm hoping that it's not going to cost us a massive amount of power to do. Actually, I need to fix this too because this isn't enough. Yeah, I'm going to have to. Power is going to be a pain. Power is going to be fun. I already know it's going to be fun. All right, so with that being done, let's go ahead and at least craft a few of these up. So we've got some Invar gears, some bronze gears, and a bulk conveyor or two. So plates, gear, and bulk conveyor, inventory full of stuff. Are you empty? No, you were making circuits for me. Are you empty? You're making nothing, I think. Seeds, go away, please. Awesome. Chest. Great. All right, cool. I need... That's it, right? 1, 2, 3. Well, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not going to dump all this. So we'll put those in there. We'll put those in there. And we'll make sure this is the correct thing. And those can be bulk conveyors. What item are we missing? Invar gear, bronze gear, steel gear, bronze gear, bulk conveyor, plan, L0. One, two, three, plus that. Did I put the wrong gear in there? Why is that in there? That's not what we need. Why did I put that in there? No, 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 no. Hang on a minute. Come on, brain. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. That's not where that goes. That should be... What did I put over here? Invar gears, conveyor belt, so you get those. All right. And those craft reasonably quickly. Yay! First unrouted transport pipes that we get to play with, which is not going to be a whole heck of a lot of much of nothing for the moment, but it's going to be one of those. I'm going to sit down and do a whole bunch of those kinds of deals. So we're going to craft that stack up, and then we're going to make at least, well, we're going to make probably about 20 or so of those, or 15 or so of these. I don't know yet. And then all of the other little pieces, parts, I actually need to go have this make some more inserters. Hang on a second. Inserter is circuit, gears, and plates. Do we have any stuff? I have a couple of iron gears and a couple of iron plates, and I had an inserter. What did I do with it? I used him over here. Come here. Oh, now my inventory is full of stuff. So let's see. We're going to put well, we're going to do this. We're going to take that out and we're going to put that in there. We're going to put this in here. We're going to put plates. And then I got to do that right there. Yes, you in here go. And then we need to make a whole bunch more circuits. We'll put that over there. Are you working? Yes. Okay, cool. We'll make a bunch of those. And then once this is finished, we got a stack of them. That should have made a stack, or did it make two? Okay. Wait a minute. This. Quit doing that. Okay, so yeah, it should have made a stack of them. Fine. Awesome. Let's dump this out real quick. And yeah, dump that out real quick. And I want at least those. So we grab this, and you can go in there. You can go in here. That should be that one right here. Done. That'll make 16 of those for us for the provider logistics pipes. 16 will be enough to do quite a bit of damage, actually. It's quite amazing what you can do with this stuff when you start really figuring out how to make it work. So that's cool there. As soon as those get done, we'll do probably, I think I'll do 16 of the other ones too, just for fun. There. So you got those done. The other ones are not basic logistics. The basic logistics are those. Yeah, go ahead and make, we'll start with 8. We'll just start with 8 since it's 2. And then the final one is a nightmare. It's a storage controller that we have to do a few things with. That's why I made a bunch of stuff. I'm going to have to craft a few more dispensers and a few more things. Let's see. We need some more dispensers. Dispenser. All of this we're going to automate eventually because of the fact that it's just going to require so much work and time to make it work. So I need dispensers, which are going to be what? Just a chest and 5 of those. I just made a whole bunch of chests. It's fine. Grab some of the iron. I think that's iron right there. Yes. Oh my goodness, at my inventory. Empty out some of the stuff that you don't need, please. Getting there. Whatever. Put that in here for right now. And that. And we need some dispensers. Dispensers is what? Cobblestone. And this. We'll make them the expensive way for now. All right. That'll work. That was 10 of those. So let me see. Supplier. Then we need a bunch of these parts. So circuits, chest, those. I should have a few circuits. Or did we use them all to make the other ones? And so we stopped because we're out of circuits. Great. Wonderful. Give me a couple of seconds. All right, so we got a few circuits. Now we need to make a storage controller. These are they're kind of a pain, but let's see if we can get this to work. LO2, and you make as many of those as you can make right now. These are going to be the ones we're going to use quite a bit of, along with everything else. But we can make 10 of those, so we'll toss those in there. There you go. And all right, so we have a small selection of logistics, pipes, stuff, which means we can start to kind of sort of automate some of the basic functions of the base so that we can start to kind of play around with things. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to, in between episodes, I'm going to go out here and start kind of leveling out a little bit of this area and maybe start building upwards. I want to get after concrete as fast as we can, but concrete is going to take a decent amount of work. Hello, phone, we know. Concrete's going to take a decent amount of work to do, and it's actually going to require us to get into processing of, well, of things like that, like this, or wastes, because we need to be able to get a lot of silicon dust. Now, silicon dust, the quickest, easiest way to get it is to process the wastes using the centrifuges or the washers or whatever. It's going to be the easiest way to get a lot of it very quickly. Unlike the other way, I think the initial way we're supposed to be getting it is to grind cobblestone into gravel and then just continuously work that over. Now we're going to need gravel and sand to make concrete and cement, so it's going to be something I'm going to go ahead and set up eventually too. But before we get really excited about building, well, a lot of automation, I want to get into that first. So, and it'll be a lot easier once I have some kind of routable kinds of fun stuff like this. So I am going to go ahead in between episodes, ladies and gentlemen, make a whole bunch more stuff. But there we go. We have a small selection of usable parts that should make our lives reasonably easy. I should say, not easy, but easier. So those are the Invar gears. Yes. What else did those need while I'm sitting here? Unrouted pipes. They're sitting over here. I always forget. yeah, I just need those, and those things. So let's just finish those up. We'll have them finish for us. So you can do that, you can do that, and you can do that. Those are going to be what we're going to use the most of. So that's what we're going to need to make. Looking forward to getting to kind of putting these together and figuring things out and moving out of this mess and starting to automate a lot of the easy, simple stuff. So hopefully next episode we'll start playing around with things, or at least starting some serious automation when it comes to building, well, building some more stuff. So we're going to unlock a lot of power. We're going to unlock, I can't do that, can I? I have to use like a, those. Give me that. Yeah, let's just put a whole bunch of rads in your inventory. Sure, sounds good to me. Have to do that, right? Do you not have power? Why do you not have power? Okay, we're fine. Never mind. Anyhow, we're going to have fun next episode, but making some more fun stuff, guys. So I will see you all then. Thank you so much for watching. And hopefully, very soon, we're going to start building a factory that's going to be stupidly too big. So till then, guys, bye.